Good evening, race fans. We are live here tonight for the Crooked Line Racing Monday Night Madness Super Late Model Series. It's been a while since I've caught a super late model race, and I'm stoked, happy as heck tonight. I'm joined by a fellow competitor, and not just any fellow competitor. I'm joined by Joshua Sexton's father, the owner of Team 151, or co-owner, I shall say, Mr. Steve Sexton. Steve, how you doing tonight, brother?
I'm doing great, brother. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm excited. I'm nervous. I want to race, but I can't because our normal broadcaster is sick. So, Mr. Joe White, I hope you get to feeling better. But I want to thank you first, Steve, for stepping up and saying, hey, I'll call a race with Tanner tonight. So, thank you for that tonight, buddy.
No problem, brother. I'm happy to fill in, see what we can do here. I think it's going to be an exciting race.
Like I've said many, many times, we are professionally unprofessional right here. We're going to have fun. We're going to do the best we can. Right now, these drivers are under qualifying, and I haven't even mentioned the track yet. Richmond Raceway, a very, very, very fast track, especially for these super late models. One of the biggest tracks we will attend on a Crooked Line Racing season, and we just saw Christian Pittman go for a little slide through the grass there on his qualifying lap. But luckily for him, he was able to put the first lap down to a P2 performance. As I'm trying to see who else we have out on track right now. Looking like Bradley Yeo out here in the 10 car. A bright, bright number 10 to boot. But you see right there, Steve, your top 9 thus far. A little bit smaller field tonight, too. Nothing we can do about that, right? It's still going to be a good race. But I think being up here in the booth, we're typically unbiased. But it's going to be pretty hard to be unbiased when you got your own son out there racing, huh?
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm hoping he can do what they can do. But I'll tell you what, these cars, as fast as they go, and to have that corner speed and be able to keep it down on that yellow line, it's tough to do, saying so. It should be nice to see what they can, who can hold it down there.
You're exactly right. Exactly right. It's going to be interesting to see who can master the line lap after lap after lap. Anybody can go out here. Well, I say anybody. I probably couldn't, but anybody could go out here and put a fast lap down once or twice. But to do that consistently, 125 laps, that's the kicker, right? That's what separates. Absolutely. That's what separates me from the Chris Carrolls, the Joshua Sextons, the Christian Pittmans, and stuff like that. Those guys can go out there and do it lap after lap after lap. And now
and it's a lot of luck too. You gotta, cautions and different things that happen during a race. So you got to be in the right place at the right time and set yourself up to be there at the end and see what happens.
Right, you're right. Luck comes into play. It's I'd say probably 90% luck, 10% skill when it comes to most short track races. Tonight will be a little different. They do have a little bit more elbow room out here, right? Richmond's a little bit bigger track. But you hit the nail on the head. The corner speed here, they're hitting about 140, it's telling me, on the straightaway. And then they're only slowing down, Steve, to about 110 in these corners. So they're actually going a little bit faster than a Cup car does in the corners. And that surprises me. That's actually really surprising to me, that they're faster than a NASCAR Cup Series car as in terms of cornering speed.
Yeah, and like I said, to be able to keep it down on that yellow line, that's going to be the place to be tonight. So
absolutely. So, Steve, you've raced Richmond before with us, and you've raced them in these supers. What is I know you said yellow line. What do you think the tale of the tape is here tonight? What's the keys to victory? Do you think it's tire management, or what are you thinking here?
Yeah, I think tire management is definitely going to be the key here. Don't run your stuff out early and be around toward the end. And 125 laps. I don't know what the pit strategy is going to be, but maybe cautions will come into play. You never know if green flag pit stops have to happen, and who knows what could happen.
Right. I totally agree. As we have, I think, 14 drivers going to attempt the race tonight, and I got to mention as we go to grid here, Chase Pierce, the kid in the series, number 17, last week's race winner, automatically starts in the back tonight. So that 17 is going to be a driver I got to keep an eye on here tonight. But folks, it's time to hit the grid for the Monday Night Madness series. Let's see where each of your favorite drivers are starting tonight. Lo and behold, mama don't look, there's that bad man, Mr. Chris Carroll in the 99 putting a P1. Jason Raymond firing off to his outside. Brian Zimmy's going to be P3 on the inside of row number 2 with Mr. Pittman starting outside row number 2. Starting in the P5 spot, we have Brad Carpenter, and then we have FiveKings Motorsports driver Joshua Sexton in the 51 starting P6. Chris McKenna representing the entire country, got Canada on his back. And I see a lot of Canadians out there, but Chris McKenna starting P7 with Larry Bell, a fellow Canadian, starting 8th. And then lo and behold, another fellow Canadian starting P9. That's Bradley Yo in the 10. And then a newcomer to the Crooked Line Racing Series. He rounded out the top 10 here tonight. It's Mr. Russell Caney. Starting outside the top 10, Thomas Dunn, a returning driver to the Crooked Line Racing Series after many, many, many months off. And then James Field firing off P12 as we cycle through a little further. 13's Alex Coffey, although he's not supposed to be here tonight. 14, Brandon Mettler, and then I told you, the kid, Chase Pierce, starting 15th in the 17 car. Sorry, got a little tongue twisted there. But actually, I said it was a small field, Steve. I think about 15 cars is about what we want to see out here. As these drivers, I would guess they're only going to take one pace lap around this, what would you say, half-mile track? Let's pull it up really quick. No, it's almost three quarters of a mile of a track, Steve. So, fairly big track, fairly big.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see if Pierce can come up through the field. He's very fast in practice, so it'll be something to watch.
It will be indeed. As no, pace car did not pull off, so they're going to go one more lap around here. So, Steve, this while you're pacing right before a race starts, this is like where you're trying to tell yourself, let's just be calm. Don't go in here and be too much. Like, don't go 110 miles per hour as soon as they throw the green flag. But it's like as soon as that green flag flies, oh, that's out the window, right? It's go time because restarts are key.
Yeah, exactly. Now I want to spin the tires, but you got to get off a good start.
Right.
On the outside, you can't jump the start. So, yeah. So accordion's back through the field too.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely.
Be affected on that start.
If something happens in the top 2 rows, it magnifies and intensifies the further it goes back. So you might lose a tenth up front. You're going to lose 5/10 in the back. All right, pace car is off. Field is in the hands of Barney Fife Jr., the flag man, up in the stands, waiting on the green flag to finally fly. As it is out, 99.44 actually get a pretty good jump. Zimmy gets a great launch, but Christian Pittman does not. Pittman going backwards into 14. And then you see there, Zimmy does get slotted in the 3rd place spot, but I'm watching Christian Pittman right here, 14. He started on the outside row number 2, and he has went back. He's only lost a spot, really. So he was able to do damage control right there when he did get a bad start. And now he's actually putting the 31 of Carpenter under fire right now as Pittman looking to get back what he thinks is that 4th place spot.
Yeah, it looks like he's got the position there.
So Brad Carpenter did not fight too hard on the outside. I think that yellow line you spoke about is going to be key all night because look here, Pittman's looking underneath the 28 of Brian Zimmy, and Zimmy's just going to wash up. Let him have it. But for being a nice guy, he might lose 2 spots here.
Yeah, it's too early to fight him. Let him go.
Just let him go, live to fight another day. As look at here, Joshua Sexton trying to put a move on Brad Carpenter. Look like Carpenter's going to give it to him. But, whoa, Carpenter wheel hops. That's something we have not talked about. These cars, like Steve said, you're really fast into the corners. So you're not hard on the brakes. But when you do get on the brakes, we just saw it right there. Joshua Sexton did it. You can wheel hop these things. And what that does is that car is basically bouncing. And when it's bouncing, there's no friction. You're not slowing down. And we saw that twice now. We saw the 35 or 31 at Carpenter do it. And we saw the 51 at Sexton do it. So that's something these guys have got to be careful of, especially when the brakes and tires are still cold.
Yeah, you just got to really watch how far you stuff it in there. But you don't want to back it off too early because you don't want to let the leaders get too far away.
Exactly. It's a game of cat and mouse, right? It's like, do I push now and hurt myself in the end? Or do I kind of ride now and hope the leaders don't get too far out in front of me? Because who knows? This thing could go flag to flag. There's not a caution that's scripted out here, right? If a caution happens, it's because there's a wreck. We don't have a competition caution in this series. No gimmicks. We're going flag to flag if these drivers do it. So you got to be mindful of where that leader's at, because if you let somebody like Chris Carroll get too far out in front of you, he's going to be a hard one to track down. It's Pittman now trying to make a move. Not trying. He did, man. Got the camera right there on him, and he had to move already taken. But I think at 99, Chris Carroll is just a man on the rails right now. Let's jump cockpit cam with him. You can see he's fighting the wheel a little bit. Anytime you see that orange tape turning to the right, that means he's a little loose. He's trying to find that grip. And oh, we have a caution on the speedway, Steve. It is telling me that Mettler and Russell Caney in the tattletale box, they may have went around. So let's go back and see if we can get pulled up and see what happened here. So Mettler's the 15. I'm not sure. Canny, I think, is the Havoline car, but he could be number 80. I'm not sure. He's a brand new driver to the series. And oh, it's going to happen right there up in front of him. Canny is in the 80. And oh, that was synchronized spinning right here. It was like maybe Mettler saw what was happening up ahead, or did he get help? Did the 63 get in the back of Mettler here? Let's see if we can keep an eye on it and see what happens. It's hard to tell, huh?
From that angle, it's really tough to tell if you got the little bumper to him or not.
So let's see if Tanner can work the magic here and see if we can tell here. This is on board with Thomas Dunn. Oh, yeah. Oh,
absolutely.
So Mettler, it looked like may have checked up some, Steve, and then...
Oh, I would have thought he checked up, see what was going on in front of him.
Right, saw what was happening up front, and nothing Thomas Dunn could do there in the 63. He had all Mettler in front of him, all the number 15 cars out his windshield, so he couldn't really see what was happening out in front of him.
Yeah, it's really tough when you're behind a car to see through that car what's going up in front of them. So,
absolutely. Now, fans in the stands, I always say out there in viewer land, please let me know if you can hear Mr. Steve Sexton and his fine voice. Because if not, I will work some magic to try to get it to where you can hear him indeed. But right now, I think he sounds okay, but I just want to make sure while we do have a break in action. While we have a break in action, let's pull somebody up, Steve. Who would you like to talk to? Who you think would be good for a few words out here?
Let's see. Let's see what's going on with Raymond there.
Let's pull up Raymond. All right, let's do it. Jason Raymond, you are live in the FiveKings Network booth with me and Mr. Steve Sexton. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
So, Raymond, you started P2 on the outside. You only lost a spot on the restart. We've been talking, and Steve really hit on how important it is to hit your marks, be right there on that yellow line. Do you think the outside lane here is going to come in as tires wear, or is it going to be a bottom feeder all night? What's your thoughts?
It might come in a little bit. I know you get a run on corner exit at like most short tracks, but I feel like once tires start to wear and you get a little tight, you might be able to use that outside a little bit more. I'm already having a hard time pinching it down on the yellow because I keep accidentally hitting it. So you'll see me about a half a lane up off the yellow, so I don't wreck myself probably.
Well, I understand it. Well, Raymond, lights are off on the gender neutral pace car. So good luck to you, buddy, and maybe we'll be talking to you at the end of this deal.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Good luck, brother. Get a little point of view from Mr. Jason Raymond. All right, this time. Oh, look here. Chris Carroll is the leader. He elected to take the outside. That's something to see. Oh, he had a teammate of Brian Zimmy right there behind him. And that may allow Zimmerman to power down past the 14. But no, sir. Not able to put the power down enough. So a little teammate cohesion right there, Mr. Sexton. They were trying to work together to count each other down.
Yeah, Zimmerman trying to make that high side work early.
I think, and maybe this is just me being hopeful, right? But I think that high side will eventually come in as, we see Sexton. Oh, I thought he was almost 3 wide. It looked like a car was going to put him 3 wide. That's Chase Pierce right there trying to make his way up through the field as the number 17. And he's done a fairly good job, already up 7 spots. So now he's gotten to a roadblock now of Joshua Sexton and Bradley Yeo or Yo. Let's see what happens here. Josh is kind of just stuck on the high side right now. A fish out of water trying to get down. And now we know Josh too. Josh is not going to push the issue. He's just going to let these guys do what they do, and then he'll say, I'll see you in 50 laps, right? And he will.
Yeah, he'll save them tires at the end.
Right, and that's one thing about Josh. He's my dynamic duo. He's my best friend on here, right? I'm not afraid to say it. As we got some incidents happening up in front of them. Zimmy and Pittman got a little touching right there. And you start touching at these speeds, beating and banging, I don't know if it's going to be great for you. A track like Hickory, South Boston, which, speaking of South Boston, you guys had a trip there. You can kind of touch there because it's a little bit slower versus a Richmond, right? But you start hitting at a track like this, you're going to tear some equipment up pretty quick.
Oh, yeah, and the speeds that they're carrying, it doesn't take much to get a car upset.
Right, upsets the dynamic of the car. But going back on Joshua Sexton, I've turned numerous laps with this guy, right? And like to the point where they dubbed us the Super Smash Brothers. Like, we constantly racing together. And I'll ask him, Steve, in the beginning part of the races, Josh, are you okay? What are you doing? And he'll come over the radio. You know he don't talk much. He'll say, I'm good. And I'm like, all right, I'll leave it at that. And I swear it never fails. 60 laps later, he's like, Tanner, you going to move or something? 'Cause I'm coming. And because he's coming. He is. He's faster than I am, right? So, let's see. Oh, contact right in front of me. Bradley Yo, Brad Carpenter. Going around. That's not going to be a caution either.
I don't see a caution yet.
Yeah, no caution on the speedway. And I can tell you Brad Carpenter's probably mad. We're going to do this. I don't do this often. But we're going to go back here, Steve, and see what happened. As Sexton, we were just sitting there talking about him. He almost got a piece of that.
Yeah, he was almost in the wrong place at the wrong time there.
Just...
It looked like Carpenter came down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And then it looked like two cars fighting for the same real estate that just was not there. As I'm interested to see if Chris Carroll, I mean, we know, we've raced with him, the guy's super fast, right? So I'm interested to see at a track like this if he's able to walk the field a little bit. And I don't mean that derogatory to anybody, but Carroll's just an animal, right? He's just fast, and you let him qualify out front, he's a hard one to beat. But now he has been beat quite a bit this season. He'll even tell you he's had a down season. So I'm interested to see if the likes of Christian Pittman and Jason Raymond, Zimmerman, Pierce, Sexton, and all them, if they have something to say to him here, and I have a feeling they will. But these two right here, they got to sort it out, man. They keep getting side by side, and as a team owner, I don't like seeing that. I don't want to see them just get up there and race that 99 a little bit, right?
Right, side by side, the leader's pulling away.
So they got it sorted out, but look at Pierce. If that man's not I say man, if that kid's not on a mission, as Brian Zimmy's into the wall a little bit, no harm, no foul, I don't think. Just going to scrape up the side of that Chevy Camaro a little bit, but not too bad. And I also see Sexton has got around Yeo here. So maybe Sexton's found out it's time to go now. He's tired of sitting. Currently holding down P6. As I'm trying to see if we got anybody side by side. And it looks like the field's pretty much minding their P's and Q's right now. And I always say this portion of the race right here, Steve, and I'm sure you agree, they're just clicking off laps right now, right? They're just trying to get there and be there at the end. Because I had a fellow once tell me, and it's an old school saying I found out, but I never heard it. But it's true. He said to win or to finish first you must finish, right? And that's what they're doing right now. They're just clicking off laps.
Yeah, you got to be there toward the end and save your equipment and hopefully be in the right place at the right time when it's time to strike and go from there.
I'm sitting here looking at lap times and fastest car on the track that last time around. I mean, the eye test is going to tell you, but this is going to tell you too. Chase Pierce was almost a tenth faster last go around, and that's in traffic too.
Yeah,
so
he's now up to third.
Yeah,
He's
17 cars. 17's coming. He's reeling them in. Sorry to cut you off and interrupt you there. I told you that was going to happen, right? It's going to happen. I'm sorry. I apologize. I talk a lot, too. But I think we know Chase Pierce. We race him all the time. I think he's asking too much out of the tires right now. Because who knows if that caution's going to come, right? And he may burn that equipment up. He's had to, right? I mean, he's gained 13 really spots.
Fast paced
right now. So. Right. You are exactly right. And now I want to compare something really quick. Let's jump on board with him. Somebody that we know's really fast, but really, really... he goes 110%. And that's not a knock, right? That's not a knock at all. But I want to see how he's using the wheel. He looks fairly smooth. Having to catch it just a little bit. Let's watch him as he goes down in turn 1 here. Look how fast this is. Drives it in there really deep. Not much brake. Oh, really working the wheel there, though, Steve. Now, we know Sexton's smooth. Now we're on board the 51 from... say your hometown, because I don't know how to pronounce that. I never tried.
Leary, Ohio.
Okay, so the E is basically not there, basically? Leary?
Elyria.
Oh, Elyria. Okay, I think I pronounced that right. I'm not sure. I'm just a dumb redneck from Kentucky, right? We try. But Sexton here is... he too's having to catch the car, but that's natural in these cars. I mean, you're going to be loose. To be fast, you got to be a little loose on these ovals. But he is...
You gotta hang it out there to...
Right.
Fast. There's a point of being too fast, so...
Exactly.
Fine line there to...
He's not really having to work the wheel a whole lot. So what that's doing, that's not working them tires a whole lot either. So that's a good sign for the 51 fans out there. As Josh is maintaining pace right now. But he's not just killing his tires to do so. And as we go back up front, look at that specimen of a man, Mr. Chris Carroll. Hair spiked up like it's the 1980s again. But he's doing a mighty fine job around this track. But that last time around, I picked the pace up a little bit, but still, fastest car on the track, the kid, Chase Pierce. He just got to try to get that track position.
He's all over Pittman now for third there for second. So
let's see here now, Steve. I want to ask you, give me your pick. We're 37 laps almost into this deal. You've got to see what the drivers are bringing to the table. Now, granted, not all drivers are pushing as 17 gets by the 14 there. Who do you got tonight if you had to put money down?
Tell you right now, at the pace we're running right now, Pierce looks pretty stout. So, but it's a long race, and like you said, you could use that equipment up by the end. So, cautions may come out and could totally change the aspect of the
race. Absolutely. With these short tracks, 9 times out of 10, I feel like on the short tracks, the fastest guy to win these races. But they look pretty spread out right now. Everybody, I'm proud right now, right? As a owner of Crooked Line Racing, as an admin, me and Josh being the lead guys, I know he's like seeing this too, a race where they can get out here and turn some laps. But right here, we do have a pass for position. This is for the 9th place spot here. As Chris McKenna kind of just took that spot away. It's a good looking car as well. I think while we are under this good, nice green flag run, I think now would be a time to thank the sponsors, Mr. MF Racing Designs. Let's see if we can find, each of us will find the best paint scheme of the night, who we think is the best paint scheme of the night, I must say. So it's time for the MF Racing Designs best paint scheme of the night. You can get yourself your own paint scheme by looking up MF Racing Designs over on Facebook.com. And we thank them for being a loyal sponsor of Crooked Line Racing. But man, oh man, as I go through this field, I see a lot of good looking cars here. It's hard to pinpoint just one. As, Jason Raymond has some side damage as we're trying to go through the field. And we may have a caution coming out. James Field has went around. Tattletale box tells me so. Before we get to the MF Racing Designs, let's see what happened to James here in the Havoline car. This car reminds me of Davey Allison when I look at it. I know Ernie Irvin and them drove it. but I get Davey Allison when I look at this.
Yeah, I'm old school. I see the Davey Allison car.
Whoa!
Got into that wall pretty hard.
Yeah, didn't hold his brakes either, but that's kind of that's okay though. He got down there, but unfortunate for him, no caution, and he probably has.
I'm surprised we didn't get a caution.
Right, he probably has significant damage there. All right, Mr. Sexton, do you want to go first for the best paint scheme of the night? I know you're a paint scheme guy. You always debut new paint schemes weekly. So who do you got tonight for your best paint scheme of the night?
I'm man, it's a tough call, but I would have to go with Carroll. I really like that paint scheme.
The red and black, I like it. I do like it. So Chris Carroll is your MF Race Design's best paint scheme of the night. I hate to do this because I have FiveKings drivers out there. I mean, my buddies, right? So I always feel like a homer if I pick them. But I love his blue, white, and chrome machine of Brandon Mettler. I'm a fan of the brighter type schemes typically. So my MF Racing Design's best paint scheme of the night is not only a good-looking car, but it's also an MF Racing Designs car done by the one and only MF Racing Designs. My pick is number 15 from Monroe, Illinois, I believe, Brandon Mettler. So we thank MF Racing Designs for sponsoring Crooked Line Racing. So Steve, we did get a little bit away from the racing aspect of it right then. We kind of had to. Got to thank the sponsors, right? Got to make sure they're happy. And also, I mean, speaking of the sponsors, Team 151 SNS Racing. I don't think you know it, but you sponsored last night's $30 to win a dirt race that we did for fun.
Yeah, my son's been taking the reins on that.
I try to help out when I can, and it's not much, right? But it's cool to help out those that help me out, right? And that's what I always try to do.
Always, that's what you got to do.
But looking here, right here at the lap times, matter of fact, if you watch that ticker along the top, I'll put the last. So now what you're seeing underneath their name, folks, that's their last lap time, right? Let's keep tabs on that, and that will tell you outright if Carroll is able to stay in front of Pierce. And I see right there, there's a full 10th right there that Pierce gained on Carroll that last time by. So we may have a battle for the race lead here pretty shortly. And now, Steve, there's a question I got to ask. Fuel tonight. Bigger track, they can hold 22 gallons. Do you think fuel will come into the equation with a green flag run like this?
I mean, I'm not sure what the fuel mileage is here, but yeah, I think it definitely could come into factor for sure.
I was hoping you knew. I was hoping you knew. I knew you probably wouldn't know. You're like me, right? You ain't got to test it out. But I was hoping you knew. I was hoping Josh told you or something because I have no clue either. And I usually do. And I forgot to test it out and ask him. You know what I'm going to do? Raymond will tell me. I know he'll tell me. Let's get him up here really quick. We won't bother him too much, but we'll figure it out. Jason Raymond, I love you, but you've always told me I can pull you up during racing. So I'm going to ask you what the fuel mileage is really quick, brother.
iRacing is showing me I have 60 left, so we cannot make it on fuel. You
cannot make it on fuel. Okay.
Nope.
What's Mettler saying? Is Mettler saying you can't make it?
Yeah, he said we were about, I don't know. I think he said we can make it 80 at the start. And then he hit at like lap 10, and he had 100. So anytime now, we'd be able to make it.
Okay, but as of right now, you're not good to make it, right?
Nope, I will not make it. If we remain green, I'll have to pit under green.
Is it close to where people can save and make it, or is it pretty far off?
I think it's pretty far off. I mean, they would probably have to start saving at the beginning of the run.
Okay, all right. Well, good luck to you, brother. I see a little damage on the right side of that car. Did the wall reach out and grab you a little bit?
You know, I did exactly what I said I was going to try not to do. I clipped the apron with my lefts, and it just shot me up the track.
Come on, son. Get it together. I taught you better than that.
All right.
Good luck, buddy. Good luck. Sorry to interrupt you.
You're good.
So, Steve, that is a big, big wrinkle into tonight's race. Green flag pit stops if it comes into the equation. And I've seen that 1, 2, 3, only 3 cars have pitted, but they pitted on lap 9. They can't make it either, right? So it's going to get interesting. It's going to get interesting.
Yeah, we're going to lap 56 here, so be interested to see if we stay green. Somebody may have to start doing the green pit stops. So
who's going to break the ice? That's always the question as a driver, right? Do you want to be the first guy in, or do you want to wait? That's always the biggest question. I mean, and that's something that, I mean, people think racing's just go out here, go fast, turn left on the oval. It's not. This is a chess game. This is a big chessboard out here we're playing with, okay? And that's what these drivers got to do, especially when it comes to tires, fuel. And now we haven't spoke about it, but they do have one tire set in the pit, meaning they have 2 total tire sets, right? You start the race with the set, and then you have a set in the pits you can go get. Will tires come into play here tonight? Will they not? As we're going to have a battle for the lead here. 17 finally has got there. Carroll's on the outside, though. Not really pinching him down, but not really giving up the position yet either. As they're side by side at the flag stand. Advantage goes to the 99 there. But I don't think he can fight off the 17, who's been fast this entire time. As 17 drives it off in there. And we got a new race leader. As well, they both wiggle it loose a little bit. So Carroll is no longer the man front and center. The kid, Chase Pierce, number 17, in that Ford Mustang, put it out front. Started in the back, too, and did that. Up 14 spots. Shout out to the kid, Chase Pierce.
yeah, that's pretty impressive. And I think Carroll just saw him coming, just let him go and run his race and see what happens at the end. Who's got tires left?
I'm impressed at twofold, right? On 2 things. One, he was able to get up there, and we see lap traffic out his windshield. And 2, he was able to actually get up there, stay up there, and then eventually make the pass. I mean, you would think he had to use up a lot of tires to get through the field. Yes, some people's going to move over and just let him by, but not all 14 guys did that. Somebody raced him through the field, right? So very, very impressive.
You start getting up into the top 5, you know, they're going to make you work for it.
Right, exactly. As we put the camera back on Mr. Christian Pittman, I know he definitely has viewers watching. His grandma and grandpa always watch, so I want to thank y'all for being loyal viewers to FiveKings Motorsports each and every week. As Tammy Raymond has been spotted in the chat. Sorry, Tammy, I have not had the YouTube chat up. I've had the Facebook chat up like a moron. But we do have the YouTube chat up now, Tammy. Good to see you out there. And Scott Moss, really good to see you too as well, buddy. Thank y'all for tuning in with me and Mr. Steve Sexton here tonight. Steve's new in the booth, but man, oh man, you would think he was a regular. He's been up here killing the game. Let's,
Oh, we got a car on the wall there, the 80 car.
The 80 car. Oh, that was Canny right there in front of Jason Raymond, is it? Yeah, right there in front of Jason Raymond. Hey, that's a good looking car right there, Mr. Sexton. I like the way the Canny's ride looks. I may have overlooked that while ago on accident.
Yeah, me too. That's a really good looking car.
I can't tell what it says on the front of it. I'm not sure. But nonetheless, still a very good looking paint scheme. I'm trying to get a look on the side of it. Well, we'll look on the other side. Maybe it's a little cleaner. Yeah, there we go. That's a good looking car. Russell Canny, glad to see you out here. A new face in the series, and got a good car too. If we get a flyby shot of him here, it's a good shot. It's one of my favorite shots that we have out here. And you can just tell the sheer speed that these guys got, especially on the straightaways as they're putting the power down. As I'm really surprised we haven't seen more guys getting loose tonight. Usually Richmond is it's a tight end, meaning you're really putting a lot of will into it to make these corners. Like Steve said earlier, they're very fast. But usually you're tight in and then you're loose off because you have so much will in it. And now we've seen some guys walk the car out a little bit, but for the most part, they've been on point. They've been on point. As we're actually riding on the nose of Mr. Joshua Sexton here. For the folks at home, I'm letting STK do the cameras now. I just click TV mix, and that's why you see the cameras changing the way they are. But yeah, so Joshua Sexton has Mr. Zimmy within striking range. Not right there on him yet, but trying to get there. That last time around, though, Josh was a little bit quicker than Zimmy. So, yeah, I think Josh is starting to see that maybe this race might go green flag. So he needs to pick up the pace, Steve. And it shows, because you want to know who the fast car on the track was that last time around?
Yeah, it looks like Josh was the quickest car right there.
It was number 51, the butt kicker machine right there, Joshua Sexton. I want to show y'all something on his hood. FiveKings Motorsports, baby. We love it. We love it. I love that car of his. He's got a new one in the works, but he's had this one for a while. Josh is not into paint schemes, really. He don't really care. He'll run basically whatever we make him, right? But you can attest to this, Steve. He's been in that one for a long time, so we're getting that boy a new paint scheme pretty quick. I told him I was going to put him in something pink, and he kind of stayed quiet and didn't really like that. So pink may not be the next way we go. But the 51 car, the crate car, you might want to think about going pink, Steve.
Hey, if somebody wants to pay me enough money to change the color, I'll do it.
Hey, okay, we start talking money. What are we talking here, Steve?
We'll talk after the race, brother.
So we're talking big money then, huh?
If you gotta ask it, you can't afford it.
I got you. As Larry Bell, normally a pretty, really solid top 5 contender, has some left side damage on the front, a little crinkle, but then the right side looks like he may have smacked the wall. And we haven't talked about it a lot here, but the turn 2 wall, it's like it has arms, brother, and it just reaches out and grabs you. It feels like, as Chase Pierce got, caution's out. I was wondering what happened. As Steve, the Tattletale box is not telling me what happened, but I saw Russell up in the wall. I'm gonna guess maybe, but it's not telling me who it was, so let's see if it was Russell. As we've seen a few cars wreck tonight with no caution. As yeah. That was
start finish line.
Yeah, that was pretty significant damage there too, Steve. Right on the front end of it.
Yeah. So now we see the leaders are now bringing them into pits.
Yeah,
so this changed the whole complexion of the race.
Absolutely. So now I'm gonna pull up Sexton here in just a second and talk with him. But now we know theoretically they should be able to make it to the end if Raymond's calculation was right. And looky there, I see the right side of the cars get jacked up. Let's see if the left side does too. That's our leader right there, Mr. Chase Pierce. He is taking 4. Will somebody be a gambler here? I wouldn't think so. But man, oh man, you never know. You never know. These guys, they throw curveballs. I've not seen anybody pass by yet, though.
No, it looks like everybody took 4.
Yeah. They don't want to gamble tonight, and you know what? I don't blame them one bit. Let's see if we can dial up Mr. Money here, Joshua Sexton. See if we can have a little quick word with him. Maybe throw a few jabs at him. You never know. Mr. Sexy Tone, Joshua, you are live in the booth. You got a copy, brother?
I hear you, Tanner.
I want to say your dad's been absolutely awesome up here with me. I've had a great time, so we'll say that first. But I've watched the 51. I always say you lurk. I want to ask you first and foremost, what was the tires like for you? And I have to guess you probably didn't want that caution, huh?
I needed the caution because we didn't have enough fuel, so we really needed it. But I was really good over the long run. I just got to get a little better in the short run. So hopefully we can get a good long run here to finish the race, and we'll be pretty good.
You've looked good all night. I told him, I was like, I know Josh. I've asked him before, and like the first 50 laps of a race, Josh, are you good? You say, yeah, I'm okay. And then 50 laps later, you're blowing my doors off, right? So I figured you were just kind of lurking, right, like you normally do. And I just said, and Steve can attest to this, not even 6-7 laps ago, I was like, Steve, who do you think the fast car on the track was? And it was you. So you did have good long run speed here. So if you can get a long run, you might be able to break out something. How's the car feeling overall?
It's all right. I mean, it's hard to explain. This is a tough track for super lates. It was tight. It was loose. It was everything. The times went off a lot more than I thought they were going to. So there's more tire wear than I previously thought we were going to have. So
Right.
it was actually good to get the caution. Get some new tires on it. So we'll be all right.
Well, good luck to you, brother. And I have to say, with Steve being the crew chief, I'm sure when you said the car's just tight, loose, just sporadic, I'm sure he probably wanted to pull his hair out. 'Cause that's the worst, right, if the car's not predictable.
Right.
Good luck, brother, and maybe we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing. Restarting fourth here, buddy.
All right.
That was Mr. Joshua Sexton in the number 51. Let's see if... he said he had good long-run speed, and we can attest to that because he was the fastest guy on the track. So he's going to try to see if he can get that short run speed, get up there and battle with the likes of Carroll and Pierce like he is accustomed to doing. As lights are off on the pace car, going to make that hard left-hand turn. Field's in the hands of Chase Pierce. I think this restart's going to be key right here for a lot of drivers. You got to get the track position. Chase Pierce is off like a freaking bandit too. Look at that, not a car in sight behind him. As they're too wide, Christian Pittman, Joshua Sexton, dang it, stuck on the outside. I was hoping he could get the power down and maybe get clear right then. Oh, we got cars wrecking. Brandon Bentley going around. Big wreck. A big wreck. Oh, whoa. It wasn't even... It looked like it was going to be huge, Steve. We clicked back here and it was like, no, we're good.
Right.
What in the world there? Let's go back and see what happened to Brandon Mettler. And BAM Racing Video sponsors the replay. And it's Brandon Mettler in it. So that's pretty cool. Let's see what happens. Oh, Yo gets a little loose out there. These camera angles suck that they gave us for Richmond. But it looked like Yo just got a little loose. And Mettler did his best 360, I think, ever. Look, he spins that thing around. Whoop, going straight. That was pretty good driving by Mettler right there. He gets spun like that, but didn't get the car under control enough to get going. Let's see if we can talk to him now. After a wreck like that, you know a driver just wants to talk to us, Steve. Mettler, you are live in the FiveKings Motorsports booth. You got a copy?
I gotcha.
I just know you love when we pull you up after a wreck, but I just wanted to pull you up and say congratulations on a nice 360, brother.
Yeah, that's what I told everybody in chat. I kind of unexpectedly got turned there. I knew he was probably getting loose, and just the way I was looking in the mirror, so I gave him a little bit of room, which unfortunately gave me a little bit of extra room to hit the wall too hard, and figured I'd turn the wheel around, see what happened, and kind of turned out pretty cool, actually.
It was awesome. It was awesome. Now, I mean, if I don't make a highlight reel, I don't know what will, because it was a perfect 360. Mettler's car is a little damaged. Maybe I shouldn't tell you this, but you do got some damage on it. Are you thinking fast repair worthy, or are you going to try to ride and die and see what it's like?
Nah, I really didn't take much of a hit. Like I said, just kind of hit off the wall a little bit and turn it around. I never really crunched anything, so I guess we'll kind of see what happens and find out after this restart. But
Steve, you let me know. Steve, let me know. Does the front end look like he crunched something here?
Yeah, it looks a little crinkled up, but really for what he did,
right?
Good.
Yeah, I mean it could have been worse. Are you down on power or anything, Mettler?
We are good in that department, so like I said, we'll see what happens.
Right on. Well, good luck to you. And that number 15, that BAM Racing Videos butt kicker machine. Good luck to you, buddy.
Appreciate you guys.
Yep, thank you. So not going to go in and get the damage fixed. I'll be honest, Steve. It's hard to tell, right? But if you're not down on power, you might be okay, but I'm starting to worry about the radiator and stuff like that. That car, it didn't take a huge leak, but we all know iRacing is kind of finicky with their damage, right? So it's going to be something to watch. It's a storyline to watch right there. See if Mettler can maintain the pace that he's shown all night. He's actually up 7 spots since he hit the starting grid, so he has been moving forward.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see, because it doesn't take very much for these cars to upset them too.
They're weird, bro, because sometimes you can absolutely smoke the car, right? And it's okay. It's like a tank. And then other times, a hit like that and you're killed. And now I do want to say, Joshua Sexton starting back on the outside P4. And for whatever reason, it put him back P4. I thought he was losing spots. So oh, no, it's going to be a single file start. That really helps out everybody that's on the outside right there, because now it's going to be single file. All right, restarts are key. You know, especially when it starts getting late like this, lap 84 of 125. Yeah, we got some time left, but still, these spots that you can gain on restart are valuable. Track position is king on these short tracks. See if we can get, that's too far out. I'm not a fan of these cameras at all, Steve. They didn't give us much to work with here tonight. We'll make it work.
There you go. Yeah, Pierce just takes right off again.
Right, that single file start, it benefits the leader. As I saw a green car. Yeah, that's Jason Raymond. I told him earlier, he capitalizes on teammates. He don't wait on them. There you go. You got two teammates battling it out. Dogfight door to door. Sexton in the 51. Raymond in the 44. As advantage goes to Raymond. Raymond's going to get it. Sexton back to P5. Christian Pittman P3. Chris Carroll's in second. And the young kid, Chase Pierce. And I keep calling him a kid. He's 15 years old. So I told him his nickname was a kid. And the kid is putting it to all these old men out here. It may be the reaction time being younger or something. I'm not sure. But he has brought that number 17 through the field. And he has put it out front. And has about a half a second lead over second place, Chris Carroll.
Yeah, everybody on fresh tires now, so we'll just log some more laps. We're working on lap 87, so it's a little early to push it too much right now.
I feel like I just have that feeling as a racer that this thing will go green out, right? And it may not, right? I may just jinx it, and this may be a caution for us. If I did, I apologize. But your pick, you did pick Chase Pierce, right? That was who you picked, if I remember correctly.
Yeah,
he's looking stout.
He's been looking stout. So and now he's on fresh rubber and he's out front, setting his own pace. So looking pretty good right now. And
setting his own pace, is he? He was a full tenth faster than Chris Carroll right there. But Carroll may be saving the equipment. Let's see if we can get somebody else on camera. Mr. Zimmy right here in the P6 spot. He's normally right up there battling with the likes of all the heavy hitters. He's currently holding down P6 after the caution came out. And we took our four Mr. Feelgoods. Then we got Brad Carpenter in the 7th place spot. And we saw Bradley Yo get tangled up with Brandon Mettler earlier. He is in the 11th place spot. And just the key in on Mettler. Mettler's under fire by Thomas Dunn right now in the 63 as they are side by side at the line. Advantage to the 63. Going to take P8 away from Brandon Mettler. As I'm thinking Mettler's car may be hurt more than what he was thinking.
Yeah, it looks like he was sliding up in the corner.
Right.
There. He just couldn't hold it down on the line.
But it may have just been a one-turn deal because he looked perfect right then on the money. I'm telling you, it's hard, man. We talked about it earlier. 125 laps to hit those marks every single time is hard. I mean, it's tough. You got to have the discipline. You got to have the focus. And everything's got to go just right. And right now, everything is just right for Mr. Chase Pierce. Tammy Raymond in the chat. Let me know you're still watching, girlie. I haven't got to talk to you in a while. That's Jason Raymond's mom, for those that don't know. She is a very loyal viewer. She watches us even when Jason isn't racing. She's very loyal to the entire crew. Man, oh man, Chase Pierce. Almost making it boring for us. He's putting on a clinic. Chris Carroll.
Easy out there.
Right. And he's, like you said, making it look super simple. It's textbook right now for him, I do believe. As we got 31 to go over the line here. So right now, it's who can stop the 17 of Chase Pierce. As I just... In my head, I feel like that 99 is saving the tires right now. But, like we mentioned earlier, you can't let somebody like Chase Pierce get too far out in front of you. I don't care if you have better tires. It's hard to make up a 2-second lead, right?
Yeah, at this point right now, you can't let him get too far out there with the laps that are winding down. So
right, they're clicking off.
If he's got anything, he's trying to bring it.
Whoa, my screen just went black right there for a second. Sorry if it messed up. Folks at home, please let me know everything's okay. Steve, you're still seeing everything correctly, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Both my screen.
Pittman there is now up.
Right.
Carroll there for second.
Good deal, good deal. So you can't see. Yeah, both my screens just went completely dark for a second. As yeah, Pittman is right there on the back bumper of the number 99. And we saw right there, and Pittman actually had to check up. And it looks like 99 said, hey, you have at it, son. You want it that bad, you can have it. And that's a heads-up driving for the 99 of Chris Carroll, because he's in a points battle right now with Joshua Sexton, Jason Raymond, and Brian Zimmerman. And he knows you get wrecked out at a race like this when all them guys are running top 5. That's really going to hurt your points. So he just said, okay, hey, you just go on by Pittman. Maybe I'll see you in a few laps.
Yeah, you can't ever count Carroll out in several races where he thought, oh, he doesn't have nothing left, and 15 laps later, he's right there.
He's got a tank full, right? You think he has nothing left. And I want to go over to the chat really quick. Miss Tammy Raymond said, hey, my hubby, I'm still here, so I'm her hubby. And then Scotty Stevens in the chat said, ha ha, hubby. Sure, Jason loves seeing that. I'm telling you, Jason's my stepson. He'll go back and watch this. He knows. He knows for sure. As Pittman's kind of created a little bit of gap between Carroll, and that's what you want on these short tracks. If you can have a little bit of breathing room behind you, that's a good thing. As Joshua Sexton is coming, as something happened to Jason Raymond that last lap, he was about 3/10 off. As James Fields went around again, sitting down there on the apron.
Yeah.
I don't think that would be a caution though, but he's going to sit there, and that's going to make me mad if he sits there until a caution. Okay, he sit there until they drove away. They got the track was clear. So I was being mad to happy right there. Thank you, James, for doing that. I was thinking he was sitting there for a caution, and then I realized what he was actually doing, so I apologize. All right, so now it's up to Pittman now to see if he can get up there to the number 17. As Raymond's going backwards now. What has happened to Raymond? Does he have right side damage that we have not seen yet? Oh, he does.
Yeah, it looks like he got into the wall a little bit there.
That's where I saw that. Zimmy and them, they kind of net code right there, folks. And well, if you don't know what net code is, it's basically we're racing online, right? So anything can happen, and the internet just predicts you're somewhere where you're really not, and that happened right there. I mean, I can see that plain as day. As Zimmy washes up high right there. 44 is going to try to look underneath him, try to get that spot back. And is not able to. Zimmy now up into the top 5. We have a good battle going on back here for the 6th place spot as well.
Yeah, these guys have been running side by side for the last 3 or 4 laps.
As Carpenter gets a little loose right there. McKenna, he's back here in the 9th place spot. He's wanting them guys to get up there and race it out, so he can get up there and do the same with them in a few laps now. Carpenter way far off the pace. 31 car is really far off the pace. Something happened to him. He may have gotten to the wall out of 4 there. And now touch on... Oh, whoa, he's getting loose again. Let's stay right here for a second. Let's see. Did Carpenter get into the wall a little bit? Okay, he got a little scraped up right there. He looks fairly clean, right? I mean, not too bad. They just got the car loose. And now we talked about and talked to Brandon Mettler. And I think we can solidify the car was hurt. He's went all the way from 5th all the way back to 11th now, Steve.
Yeah, there's a fine line with these cars, how you got to run them, and it doesn't take much at all to upset the aerodynamics on the car, and then you're just hanging on. Right,
just hanging on at that point. We're getting a fan view right here. This is a short track, but man, oh man, it's massive too as you look across there. And Steve just went to South Boston, and I asked him earlier, I was like, how did iRacing do in the department of how South Boston looks? And we'll ask him here. Steve, let him know, how good is iRacing at replicating how these tracks actually look in real life?
All the pit towers and the grandstands, and I mean, it was realistic as can be. My son said that the track didn't drive the same, had a lot more banking than what you do in iRacing, but they made it look really good.
That's a testament to just how close iRacing is to real life. as Pierce is just walking away from the field. Almost has a 1.5 second lead. But yeah, so Steve said it looks identical. Spot on, the atmosphere spot on. And Josh Sexton said that the track felt faster and had more banking, or felt like it had more banking than the way it does on iRacing. So still, though, pretty good testament to how good iRacing is. I wish they had the racing product more close, right? Because that's what matters most. But it's still awesome to hear that, though. As Sexton's actually, look here. Sexton was almost 2 seconds. Oh, Zimmy's into the wall back there. And
It looks like he got pretty good damage on that.
Yeah,
right
got a good shot into the wall right then. But yeah, Sexton was almost 2.5 seconds back off his front pack earlier when he got behind Raymond and them. He is now right on the back bumper of Mr. Chris Carroll almost. If Chris makes a mistake, Joshua Sexton may be here to capitalize on it. As Sexton wants to talk to us again, getting into the top 3 for an interview. Look at the fire shot on the side of them cars. That's an awesome shot. Let's see if he's able to get up there with the 99. I think if he was laying back, if it wasn't go time before, when you start getting a guy right there on your back bumper, it's go time then. So this is...
Pittman hasn't really pulled away from Carroll either now, so...
Chase Pierce is the only guy tonight that's been able to create separation from the field, right? Like, even when Pittman was out front, Carroll was out front, none ever opened up the gap, right? They always kept it right there, about a half a second. And now the gap is almost 2 seconds to second place. As we're going to ride on the back of Chris Carroll, got Joshua Sexton right there. Looks like Josh is able to drive it in. Yeah, look at there. Able to drive that car off into the middle and on the exit. And he's going to look to fight for the spot here. We may have a new driver in third place. As we do indeed. I told y'all, Sexton, he lurks during these races. But man, oh man, he's always there when it comes down to the finish. As he's going to try now to chase down Christian Pittman. And he loves this track too. Josh loves this track. As Miss Tammy, to give you an update, Raymond, he's been running good all night. You've seen it. He's running P6 right now. Got into the wall. I think he's gotten to the wall twice. So that's going to happen here. Richmond's a very, very tough track, like we said, all night. And he's trying to mitigate the damage from the car and the points aspect. He don't want to lose too many more spots. But all his points competitors, you look at them right there. It's Joshua Sexton in third, Chris Carroll fourth, Zimmy in fifth, Jason Raymond's in sixth. So he's not going to lose a lot of points if it was to finish how it is right now, as we now got 6 laps to go.
Yeah, Pierce is just hoping there's not a caution right now because he's got the field under control.
All right, he's telling Barney Fife Jr., the flag man, you better keep that yellow flag far away right now. Don't wave that thing, because I don't know though, Steve. I think if there even was a caution, I think he has these boys set, because he just looks like he's in a league of his own, and that's very rare in this series. Our top 5 drivers, I would put them up against any series. But right now, Pierce is just a man front and center. It's to the point where you can't even keep him on broadcast because he's so far ahead in that number 17. As I'm looking at lap time, seeing if Sexton was 200ths faster than Pittman, but he's going to need to pick up the pace right here to get to him. And we saw how Sexton was able to drive it in much deeper than Carroll and then have the drive in the center. Right there, Pittman kind of pulls him a little bit. I love this camera angle right here. You can really see how deep a guy drives it in. As Sexton does drive it in, he's arcing it a little more right here. Going to try to get that drive off as we're riding on the tail of Christian Pittman. Drives is in there deep. He holds that bottom line. Both of them do really well. As we got popsicle sticks up in the air. 2 laps remaining, folks. It's been a fun one here tonight. Me and Steve both were supposed to be out there on the track, but all, like Pittman said earlier, not all superheroes wear capes. We decided, hey, we can't let a broadcast not happen. The show must go on. The show did. And the show tonight was Chase Pierce, who started in the back. He's brought it up to the front for the final lap. White flag is in the air. It don't matter now what happens. As I think the true battle is for second, but I know Josh, he's probably going to ride right here and take his third place finish and get on out of here. As Chase Pierce rounds out turn number 4 for the final time. As Pierce is the race winner here tonight at Richmond. Christian Pittman brought it home P2 as he's wrecking across the finish line for whatever reason. Joshua Sexton P3. Chris Carroll P4. Brian Zimmy P5. A pretty entertaining race right there. What we have? Only one caution?
Yeah, it was pretty impressive there. Just the one caution at I think around lap 66 or something. So
As we watch Mr. Chase Pierce burn it down, young son, burn it down. Good job, man. To come from last to first, that's impressive. All right, Steve, I'm gonna let you interview one of them. Who do you want? Do you want to take? You want to take your son?
yeah, we'll go there.
All right, listen. I'm gonna let you do like we normally do. I'm gonna let you do third and second. I'll take first. All right.
Gotcha.
All right. The floor is all yours, Mr. Sexton. Other Sextons in here.
Joshua Sexton, this is Steve in the tower. You got a copy?
I hear you.
Hey, early on in the race, you were just laying back in the field. Came up through the field. How was the car at the end there? Do you think you had anything for Pittman there?
Yeah, I had something for Pittman. I got a little bit too tight late in the run. I kind of overworked my tires in that last 10 laps. Really just needed to keep backing off of it, and I just drove a little too hard and got a little too tight, so I couldn't get a run on him to try and get second spot there at the end, but still a good race.
Yeah, you ended up with a good point night with a podium finish, so cars all in one piece, so that's a good night.
Mr. Joshua Sexton, very, very impressive run there, brother. Brought it home P3. Who do you got to thank for tonight's performance? Because it was a good one.
Yeah, I just thank my FiveKings Motorsports teammates, MF Racing Designs, McConey Setup Shop, The Butt Kicker, Savage Edge, Raise Energy, and Frank's Button Boxes, as well as Crooked Line Racing. And thanks for doing the broadcast for us tonight, FiveKings Network.
Well, you're welcome, brother. Good run, Josh. Thank you for all you do with us, buddy. And yeah, congratulations, buddy. P3 tonight. Good job.
Thank you.
Alrighty, now let's pull up our second place finisher, Mr. Steve. It's going to be Christian Pittman, and the floor is now yours.
Pittman, Steve Sexton in the tower. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Hey, brought it home second tonight. You think if we had a caution, you might have had anything there for Pierce?
I'd have tried like heck to get to him, but once I got by Chris, there for 3 or 4 laps, I was running about a tenth of a second faster than him, and I thought we might have had something for him there, and then he kind of just started to walk us towards the end. So I think if we'd have got a caution with maybe 15 to go, I'd have had a chance to get by him, but he was just on rails tonight. I mean, I couldn't even – the last 10 laps, he was pulling me almost 2 to 3 tenths a lap. So maybe if we'd have got a late race caution, but he was definitely on rails.
Well, congratulations. It's a good point night, and brought the car in one piece. Congratulations.
Pittman, very, very impressive there, young gun. Car was looking good. Like Steve said, brought it home in one piece. That number 14 was fast, and if there was a late race caution, I know it'd be interesting. I feel like UPS would be on the way, like you always say. So who you got to thank for the number 14 here tonight, brother?
My grandparents always, my dad, my buddies at work that watched the race, FiveKings Motorsports, MF Racing Designs, JR Designs, the Butt Kicker, anybody at FiveKings that helps out, everybody at Crooked, Tanner, Josh, you and Steve for doing the broadcast tonight, and just everybody that puts on the league every week.
Well, we appreciate that, buddy, and like I've said before, as long as y'all keep coming, we'll keep on doing this, buddy. Congratulations on the P2 here tonight. Good points tonight for the 14, and Yep, next week, final race of the season. Good luck, buddy. Congratulations here tonight.
Thanks, Tanner.
Well, thank you, Pittman. I wanted to see if he'd come back to me, but he didn't. I was going to see how many times we could go back and forth thanking each other. All right, folks. Here he is. Man front and center, Mr. Chase Pierce. He's went back to back, but he's not Drake. Started from the bottom, now he's here. Started in the back, brought it all the way to the front. The kid, Chase Pierce, you were live in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you.
Man, you're ugly as can be, but you can wheel a race car. Talk me through the starting points of this race before we even get to the end. What was you thinking when you started this thing when Barney Fife threw that green flag?
Oh, I just knew at the beginning I just had to take them one at a time, and if they got together, do some wreck avoidance, and we did. I don't think there was any wrecks at the beginning, maybe one, but pretty clean, and there was one scuffle I remember that I had to dodge, but I got through it and just kept passing them one by one, and finally got up in top 5 and got a little trickier once I got up there, but...
Right. Well, that's funny you said, because Steve even said, you can pass, and then you get up there to the top 5. If I remember correctly, Steve, you said something like, those boys are going to race you, right? And I think that's what he said. Steve, is that correct? That's what you said?
Yeah, they, get through the field pretty decent until you get up in that top 5, and then they're going to make you work for it then. Right,
that's when the elbows come out. But, Chase, you watch this broadcast back. I very rarely cuss, but what the hell was those last 20 laps, brother? You was on rails there. Only driver tonight that got up front and was able to open it up over a half a second lead. What did you figure out throughout the race that allowed you to do that at the end?
I really don't know. I just got comfy with this car, I guess. I was one with the car, if you will.
That's the most corny thing I've ever heard anybody say, but we'll let it ride. Keep going.
It just felt really good, honestly. I don't know what I did differently. It just felt good.
Well, brother, it looked good, too. I'm sure Steve can attest to that. It's hard to come from the back, and like we just said, when you get inside that top 5, them boys are going to race you, right? I say it all the time. I'd put our top 5 in Crooked Line Racing up against any top 5, any other league. But tonight, you put a whooping on them, Chase. You went back to back. I'm not sure how the points shake out. Well, coming into tonight, you was 5th in the points. So with next week, we're going to the Coliseum, and it being double points night, you may have a say for the championship. I'm not exactly sure how it's going to shake out. But damn it, son, that was a good race. Now, you put on a good show. You got out to, like I said, 2-second lead. Congratulations. Who you got to thank for the number 17 here tonight?
Top Hat Comics, Shift Shifters, Sim Racing, Fanatech, Thrustmaster, iRacing for the Great Sim, Crooked Line for the Great League. You got the FiveKings Network for the great broadcast, and whoever built that setup tonight, because it felt great.
Well, that's a lot of greats right there. And you always say iRacing for the Great Sim. I've heard you say it a lot. And I want to tell you something. Steve Sexton, Josh Sexton, they just went out to Sobo, South Boston, for an asphalt sprint race. And Steve said the aesthetics and the atmosphere from iRacing to real life at South Boston, spot on. They nailed it, he said. He said it is identical. So iRacing is a great sim. So I've heard you say it a lot, and I wanted to tell you that. I didn't know if you was in the chat earlier when we was talking about it or not. But congratulations. Put a whooping on them going back to back, starting dead last at LA. That's going to be a tough one. What do you got to do next week to try to replicate what you did last week and this week before we wrap it up and go home?
It's going to be wild next week at the Coliseum. A lot of wreck avoidance, taking it easy. I think I'm going to have to start in the back again with this win, so it might help starting in the back, honestly.
No. At the Coliseum, it's not going to help starting in the back. No. You got a lot of people out your windshield. I'm sorry, it ain't going to help there. It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough, but I know you can do it. Chase, congratulations. I want to thank you for coming out. Thank you for putting on the show you did tonight. And, man, oh, man, a 2-second lead there at the end over Chris Carroll. That's pretty good. Congratulations, buddy.
Thank you.
Absolutely, boss. All right, Steve, we're going to wrap it up here tonight. It's been a fairly long race. My head's hurting. It's been a long day. Before we started this, we were talking earlier. I kept yawning. I think I've been up since 3:30, something like that. So I'm ready to call it a broadcast. But let's go to our top 10 really quick. Chase Pierce, Christian Pittman, Joshua Sexton. That's how they finished 1, 2, and 3. Chris Carroll and P4, Zimmy, Brian Zimmerman from USAFirearms.com. If you need a firearm, check him out. He specializes in AR-15. That is USAFirearms.com. Right home P5, Jason Raymond in 6. Tommy Dunn in 7. Brad Carpenter 8. Chris McKenna 9th. And the good guy, the Canadian, Larry Bell in the 43. Right home P10. Folks, I want to thank y'all for sticking with us. We still got some viewers right now. I love to see when y'all stick around till I hit that off button. That means you're loyal, and I love to see it. Thank y'all for tuning in. Thank you to the sponsors, MF Racing Designs, The Butt Kicker, SNS Racing, Team 151. Check them out on Facebook. They are growing. They are growing. That's going to be a name you're going to be wanting to watch because I promise you they're growing. The program's getting better. I'm a very, very avid viewer and very close to that bubble. I love to see it. Steve, before we close up shop here tonight, give your final thoughts on the race, and then give me your final thoughts on being in the broadcast booth for the first time ever.
Yeah, it was a really exciting race. Really nice track and a nice facility, and Pierce really put on a clinic. And yeah, it's very interesting. I've done a lot of things in motorsports over the last 40 years, and to do the broadcast side was a little different. And yeah, I think there's room for improvement. So we'll go from here.
Absolutely, brother. I think you did fantastic for the first time in. I want to thank you for jumping on board with me. You didn't have to, right? You did not have to. It started with a, hey, do you care? And boom, you're there. I want to thank you for that. Thank you to the fans for tuning in. It's been Tanner Marr and Steve Sexton in the FiveKings Network booth. We will be back out on track Saturday night in the Crooked Line Racing Street Stock Series. But until then, we'll see you.